Hello everybody, it's me, Walter the Germany Ball. Welcome back to my channel, but not welcome back because this is actually a new series called Console Conversations Overtime. So Overtime is basically where we go over any news that we weren't able to cover beforehand because this season is scripted ahead of time, so we're not able to go over that news, sadly. But yeah, this is going to be fun. The first thing is Mario. So they announced a lot of stuff. They had a Mario Direct, which, that's a cool thing, I guess. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's really, it's just a good thing. I'm glad that they did it, because, they were getting dried up on announcing stuff, and people were getting angry, and then they announced a ton of stuff. So that's, a pretty good idea to do a Mario Direct because it's his 35th anniversary. I just want to go through each announcement one by one. So first we got the Game & Watch, which I think is a little cool, nifty device. It's basically a little tiny USB-C handheld that plays Mario and Mario Lost Levels as well as Game & Watch Ball, and has a really cool clock feature. Very simple, but a pretty cool collector's item. But it's $50.
I mean, it does have two games, and it is like a brand new gaming system that would be pretty hard to get nowadays.
That's true, but it's very simple hardware, and those games have been released for like $2 each. So it should be around 20 to 30, I think, would be more fair. But I'm not going to complain. It's probably one of the coolest, at least one of my most interesting announcements for the whole Direct. And then we got Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So Bowser's Fury is supposed to be some new content of some sort. And I said this in episode 9. Cool. I'm glad it's on the Switch finally, and I'm glad they have online multiplayer. But if Bowser's Fury is just a couple levels or just one world, you ain't getting my money. Because that's not enough, really. I mean, right? Like, and I think a lot of the Wii U ports are guilty of this, really. Aside from a couple exceptions, I mean, it's a terrible game, but Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, they have all the DLC, which, do the math, the game and the DLC, even at its cheapest, would cost you like over $80. So it was a decent deal. And Captain Toad, they added tons of new stuff, the VR mode, all that, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All of those are great ports with tons of new stuff in them to make it enticing. But if it's just a couple of levels or a world, I think it's fair to say that why should you pay $60 for that? So that comes out February 21st or February 12th. I forget which one.
I think it's the 12th.
And so, it looks pretty good. It has potential. I'm going to say that. It has potential to be really good port, really worth it. But I don't think anybody should buy it unless it has good new content, especially for people who've already played it over and over again, like myself. And keep that in mind for later.
Most people didn't buy the Wii U.
Yeah.
This is a whole new experience for them as well.
But I still think, you gotta add new content for those people, right? Because you don't want people to be rebuying the same game, which, keep that in mind for later, too. But, I think it looks really cool. I love the idea of it being on Switch. That's a perfect platform for it. And if they have enough new content, I will definitely pick it up. Although February, that's the 4-year anniversary of Horizon, and they might release Horizon 2 that month, so then I probably wouldn't buy it for quite some time, because I'd only be playing Horizon 2 and only Horizon 2. Yes, I can't wait for that game, but, looks cool, has potential. I've said that like 5 billion times, so I'm just gonna go to the next thing. Mario 35. It's a battle royale game inspired by Tetris 99, and if you kill an enemy or do something, it goes to another person's screen. It's free for Nintendo Switch Online members, which is good. If it wasn't, I would be really mad. If you had to pay for such a simple game, that'd be kind of...
Tetris 99 was also free.
Yeah, so, like, that would be a total ripoff, but it's not so good. But it's only available from October 1st to March 31st, which, again, I get why they're doing that, because Mario 35th anniversary, but I don't like that.
I think what they're going to try is either they're just going to take it off, or they're going to make it so that they're going to do it and see how much they actually get from these, like, limited deals, because I don't think, well, they did it with the 2D, the original, like, collection with, like the OG, like, 3 games and the Lost Levels, and they did it with that, and they put it back. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to see how much they're going to make, and then maybe, like, half a year or a year later, they're going to put it back on.
Hopefully, yeah. For me, it's like, that's just anti-video game preservation, Like, it's like them taking down WiiWare. It's like, why not preserve that stuff, instead of to Teleview. But it looks really fun as a game. I just don't like the practice behind it that much.
Yeah.
And then we got Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which I thought was the coolest thing in the whole show. But
it's basically Mario Kart 9.
Pretty much, with live, like, actual cars and, like, AR technology. They have cameras on them, but it's $100, which I sort of get, like, they have cameras on them and they're rechargeable, and but it's like you're paying $100 for 2 toys with cameras on them that are very simple, which, like...
Well, I mean, the cameras are probably, like, maybe, like, $20 each, and then, like, the go-karts are probably, like, maybe $10 to $15.
So $60, and then the rest is, like, an app and some pieces of plastic. Like, it should be...
I mean, they also have to have something, like, to detect, like, how, like, you get hit by an object in that game and then your cart slows down. So they probably had to make something that detected that.
Yeah, that's what I mean by, like, the app and all that. So it should be around, like, $60 to $70, at least in my opinion, because, like, those are plastic toys. They're cheap. Cameras are really cheap. They might be $20, but I would say probably, like, my estimate would be that plastic is like $5. Maybe the circuit boards are $5, and then the cameras are $10, so you have like $40, and then maybe like an extra $10 for the app, so it should be at the very least $50, like 50 to 70, or at the very least give people a cheaper option, right? Like have different packs that are cheaper or something. It's kind of weird. I don't like that, but
it
like looks
the one pack
cool,
where it's just like a wheel that you can drive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, but Nintendo really needs to stop overpricing, at least in my opinion. A lot of their extra stuff, like that Mario Lego stuff, is like so unbelievably expensive. The Lego NES.
Well, people are still going to buy it.
I know. They're basically the Disney of the video game industry, where they know people will buy it, so they make it really expensive. But I just don't really like that.
If people stopped buying it, they probably, like, decrease the prices of them.
Yeah, but people will not, which is dumb. And then Mario 3D All Stars. Yeah, it exists.
I mean, it's technically a remaster. Because a remaster's
well,
it's like an upscaling, and that's what they did with the games.
I would
Like,
call that a re-release. Really,
well,
like an
not
updated hamster. Because a remaster, like, look at other remasters. Uncharted. Like, look at the Uncharted collection. They completely redid the controls and updated the graphics and cover systems. Like, that's
well, you
a
don't have to do
remaster.
all that to make a remaster. Like,
Yeah,
having
but
all three of these games, like, you'd have to make it so that because like you'd have to make controls for each of the three games because all three games have different control schemes, and you'd have to create control schemes that match the control scheme of the Switch, but also like kind of match.
but that's incredibly easy to do. Like,
Oh,
all you have to go in and do is change the button inputs in the code, and you're done. That doesn't really cost anything that much.
yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to do all that kind of stuff for a remaster, but like, you have to at least do something, you know? Like,
I mean,
at least
they did
touch
like
up.
upscale the graphics.
Which, yeah,
And
but like, and consider it like this. Here's the example I like to use. So, it's $60 for 3 old Mario games, all over 10 years old. The newest is 13 years old, and all they did was upscale them, put 2 of them in widescreen, update the controls for Galaxy, and add a music player for $60. Look at
they were also all Nintendo Selects too.
Yeah, so you could get each of them for really cheap.
Well, together they would make $60.
Well, like, if you look at Mario 64 and Sunshine, both of those are like the last re-release, which was like 10 years ago, was like $10. And Mario Galaxy would be maybe 15. So at the most, it'd be like $30. And then you add the music player, so maybe it's $40. But even then, look at Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, right? Those are 3 games. They added brand new content, completely redid all animations, all controls, and everything. And I get that that's a remake. It doesn't have to be a remake, but but I'm talking about the price here. Those are $40. And they're 3 games. And now that they've gone down, you can get 6 fantastic games. In my opinion, the Spyro games are better. That's just my opinion. But for less than $40, you can get 6 fantastic games completely redone from the ground up. But on Nintendo, if you want upscaling and a music player, you have to shill out $60. And, like,
the thing
again,
is
I get that it's for people who've never played those games for the most part, but at the very least, you have to have some sort of new thing. And, like, why didn't they remake
what
Mario
would they
64
add to these games? Like,
new stars, new levels, new outfits, anything, pretty much anything.
Well, the new the thing is, like, the difference between like the Crash and Spyro remakes is that Crash and Spyro were like basically dead at the point, like dead to most people when they were remade, and not a lot of people like outside of Sony and the new Sony players wouldn't have really known about them. But like with the Mario remasters, everyone knows about like Mario games, and they're like, oh, these games that I've never had, and it's hard to get a Nintendo 64 or a GameCube, you can get these games for cheaper than it would be to buy all 3 consoles and the games on them.
But you don't have to do that, right? Because of the virtual console. But what I'm saying is, like, yeah, again, I get it's for people who've never played them, but that's not really the majority of your audience. Like, if you look at that, what new Nintendo player, like somebody who's very young, who just got their Nintendo Switch, do you really think they're going to be interested in those 3 really old games? No, they're going to want Mario Odyssey or Mario 3D World.
Well, they would see it as a Mario game. They wouldn't know that they were old, and they're like, "Oh, 3 Mario games.
But even
I like
then,
Mario. I'll just buy it."
I bet if they bought it, then, you know, they're not remade at all. And, like, Mario 64 and Sunshine have not aged well at all. So only doing, like, a graphical upscale a little bit is just lazy.
I'm pretty sure that for Mario 64 they're using the patched re-release version that they patched out like a bunch of glitches and
and also they got rid of the So Long King Bowser line.
Yeah.
Which, so 0 out of 10. But it's just like, I get why they're doing it, but it's really kind of gross, honestly. People go on and on and complain about, oh, Microsoft did this, oh, EA did this, but they're willing to turn a blind eye to the fact that Nintendo's charging people. Like, let's do a little tally here. I just want to do a little tally here. Of what all of these things together would cost in one direct, like five games that probably will give you maybe like 30 hours of content at most.
Well,
let's
Galaxy's
see.
Galaxy's probably like 20 hours, 15, 20 hours.
It took
maybe?
me like 7 to beat it. I don't know. I did beat it quite a long time ago, so I might be misremembering. But let's look and tally it up. So we got the and let's say this is somebody who doesn't own anything else. So $50 to get the Game & Watch, so $50, and then $20 for a year of Switch Online to play Mario 35. So that's $70, and then you got $60 for Mario 3D World, so you have $130, and then you have $230 because of Mario Kart Live, and then you have $290 because of Super Mario 3D also. So for almost the price of the Switch itself, you're getting like 4 games. That's pretty cheap and gross. I mean, like, some of them are good deals. I think Mario 3D World could be a good deal. Game & Watch is okay. 35 is good. But Mario Kart Live is a ripoff. And 3D All-Stars is a total ripoff. At least, like, give us some costumes or something to make us feel better. Like, you can't even do that. You can't even add, like, cosmetics. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't think that if anybody has access, I get maybe people who are curious about those games and want to buy them and play them for the first time. Sure, I guess, but even then, there are heavy rumors that they're gonna add those games to Nintendo Switch Online. So what's even the point then? But for anybody who has access to those games, like me or the majority of people who are buying those remakes, don't buy it. Just don't. I mean, I have Galaxy, I have Sunshine, and I have methods of playing 64, so why would I buy this $60 collection just to play them portably? You know, I don't find any value in that, and I think that people who've already played those games shouldn't either. But yeah, so
I think a reason why they're doing this is because like rebuilding all 3 of these games would take a pretty long time. Like,
yeah, but like you had a pretty long time, you know.
Well,
they haven't
and
been
then
developing
also
a Mario
like
game
people
for a long time.
like they would need, like, Odyssey came out 3 years ago. They would need like their entire like Mario team to work on all 3 of these games. It'd probably take like
Even then, not really. Like what I'm saying is, how long did it take for the Crash and Spyro games to come out? Right? Those are 3 games completely done from the ground up, in their own new engines with new physics, new controls, everything. So you're doing even more there. It's not just updating and giving new graphics and controls and new content. That took them 1 year. And that's Activision. Nintendo is way more powerful, way more rich. They have way more resources. All they'd have to do is update the graphics, give new models, give new animations, give some new controls. Well, they might already be updating those, so I shouldn't complain about that. And give us like a couple extra levels. I don't think that's too hard, really. I think they could have done that in about
what they'd have to do is to make new levels. They'd have to like rebuild the entire game because they wouldn't be able to make the new levels look like the old levels.
But again, what I said is you would redo the graphics, which wouldn't take that long either. Especially, like, I think a lot of people are willing to forgive Nintendo because they don't realize how big of a company Nintendo really is. Nintendo is a tens of billions of dollars company. They have hundreds of thousands, or I think tens of thousands of employees coding for them, and they have so much money, and they make so much money. So Activision, in a year, they scored out these completely redone games, right? Nintendo, it takes them more than a year to touch up some stuff. I don't think that's very fair, but yeah. So in my opinion, it's a ripoff. I get why some people would buy it, but for me, it's really gross, and Nintendo is still not doing a good job this year. So then Nintendo announced another thing this week.
Was this week? I think it was a few weeks ago.
A new Zelda game.
Oh yeah, it was.
What? Like, this was out of nowhere, and I'm gonna, like, my opinion on this. So, it's a Hyrule Warriors game, and I hate Hyrule Warriors on every level, and if people like Hyrule Warriors, good on you, I guess, but I don't understand your opinion at all, because it's so repetitive, so monotonous, runs so badly, and is so boring and tedious, and is grindy. It's like 100 hours to 100% complete. I'm not going to complain about a game having content, but when you're just grinding out the same missions over and over again as every character to get more content, that's just really dumb, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that was bad. But it's it's Breath of the Wild, which is, my second favorite game of all time, so, kind of cool. But I gotta say, sure. It's a prequel. And that is one of the best ideas for a game. I've wanted that for so long, ever since Breath of the Wild came out. And I never thought they would actually do it. I thought maybe fans would make it a couple years from now. But no, they're actually going to do it. But it's a Hyrule Warriors game, Nintendo. Why do you do this to me? You have such cool things, and then you overprice them or make them weird.
Well, it's probably because, like, a Breath of the Wild style game wouldn't really work for, like, a pre-Breath of the Wild kind of game.
Because you would just have to have more combat, right? Like,
it'd just be Breath of the Wild without Ganon.
Yeah,
and then
but I mean, Ganon's just.
But like with Hyrule Warriors, it makes sense because it's kind of like the fight before Ganon appears.
But yeah, but like Hyrule Warriors is about like this crossover thing, and I think they could have just made like a mini game. Like, make, like, Uncharted Lost Legacy, or Infamous First Light, or Miles Morales, Those are all games that explore new parts of the story, but are much shorter and cheaper. Why not make a game like that, low development resources, but a good amount of content? It's a smaller, like an add-on for Breath of the Wild. It could be DLC, or it could be a standalone expansion for Breath of the Wild where you play as beforehand. That would be amazing. That'd be perfect. That's all you need to have. But Hyrule Warriors, please don't let it be the same gameplay style. Please. They did say it's going to be a mix, kind of. They said something similar to that. So I'm hoping it's better. But please, like,
Yeah.
please don't screw it up, Nintendo, because it has so much potential. And then we got an old announcement, but we're going to go over it real quick. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, that comes out on Halloween, or the day before Halloween.
That's a weird release date for Pikmin.
I mean, it's not a scary franchise. Why not release, like...
I mean, it's scary because we never know when the next Pikmin game is coming out.
Yeah, it's scary because Shigeru Miyamoto keeps saying, oh, Pikmin 4 is almost out, and then it takes another 5 years. I have never played Pikmin other than, like, the demo of Pikmin 3 on my Wii U, and it was fun. It was really fun. And they're adding tons of new content, so good, very good. I have nothing negative to say other than I sort of wish that they did, like, a port of 1 and 2 as well, and sold that for, like, $40, or maybe even 60. I'd be fine with that, because it's, you know, if they added new stuff. But, yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about the game itself. I just wish they gave us an option to play 1 and 2. But, I mean, you could go on GameStop website and find, like, 1 and 2 for really cheap, buy those, play them, and then buy Pikmin 3 Deluxe and play it. Like, it's a really good deal. I have nothing negative to say. Great job, Nintendo, on that announcement. A lot of them, I liked. I'm going to go over the positives and the negatives real quick. Mario 3D World and Pikmin 3, and for Paper Mario fans, Paper Mario, really good announcements, and probably going to be really good games. All-Stars, a lot of the other Mario stuff, including Home Life Circuit and Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. No, I'm not a huge fan. I have a lot of negative stuff to say. Mario 3D All-Stars and Home Life Circuit, I think, are bad because of the price. I think if they were really cheap, good, then very good. And I would probably buy them. But, and they have no signs of not doing that, so bad. The other Mario stuff, same thing. But then, Age of Calamity has the potential to be good, so it could move over to good. So yeah, Nintendo's had a couple of good things this year, but why, like, a lot of whys, for me at least, and not necessarily a terrible year, but compared to the competition, kind of bad. And then we're going to get into the competition after 30 minutes of talking about Nintendo, because we barely talk about Nintendo since all the news is hogged up by PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xbox. So let's talk about Xbox and PlayStation 4 and 5 now. So, big week for everybody, really. Xbox. No. Okay,
that's really basically what happens every time they're about to announce console.
They are really dumb. They are so idiotic, moronic buffoons that they don't know how to win anything. They are the saddest excuse for a console manufacturer to ever grace this planet. Other than, like, Casio or Philips CDI, but, I mean, we don't talk about those. So, let's talk about Xbox, shall we? So, they announced the Xbox Series X price and the Xbox Series S. Yes. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. I already thought they were gonna lose, because they didn't have any good games. But then as soon as rumors come out about Sony, I've used this metaphor a lot, but I'm going to use it on video now. It's like they're both holding weapons to each other. And as soon as Sony starts to lower their gun, Microsoft shoots themselves 5 times in the foot, throws away their weapon, and says, hey, come at me now, Sony. Like, what? What is wrong with you? That is so stupid. They announced the price as $500, which is not a bad deal, but why would you announce it as soon as Sony starts to give up? Are you really that stupid, Xbox?
When is it, like, when is the Series X coming out?
The 10th of November, I'm pretty sure. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's so dumb. PlayStation,
Yeah.
like, they let's do a little history lesson, okay? So 7 years ago at E3, and this was at E3, so I feel sympathy for Xbox getting destroyed by. Well, I don't, because a lot of this was their own fault. But they assumed, oh, the PS4 is more powerful, so it'll probably be really expensive. So we can do $500, and it's E3, so they have no way of changing their price after us, right? That makes sense. And then they announce, oh, you can't play used games. It's always online and requires Kinect, which was just revealed to be a spy camera. And it's $500.
Spy camera that didn't have very good games.
Oh yeah, it had terrible the Kinect's best games are the Wii's shovelware. That's how I would put it. Other than like 2 exceptions, but so then Sony destroyed them. Yeah, it plays used games. Yeah, it doesn't need to be online. No, it doesn't require a spy camera that looks at you every second of your existence. And it's $400. And the crowd goes wild. Woohoo! And it's over. The console war is over. 106 million units compared to like 45 or 55. Yeah. Pretty bad, Xbox. But this time,
then the Switch comes in 4 years later and overtakes Xbox.
Yeah. And then you have now where it's not E3, so they're free to reveal the price when they want. So why not wait for Sony to do it? Like, are you that stupid? And then we have the Series S. It looks like a boombox.
I think Microsoft tried to like have their price lower because they learned from last time Sony's going to have a low price, so we have to have a console that's like a decent price and one that's a low price, so that we catch Sony and we catch the PS5 in the middle. But then they release their prices first, so then Sony can make their main console cheaper than the Xbox's main console.
Yeah, today we got rumors that Sony is slashing the price down to like $450 or $400 even. So yeah, the Series S, I don't have anything to say really. It's all digital, $300, whatever. Who cares? I don't care about Xbox anymore. They have Fable, and that Grounded game looks cool, but it's already out. So not much of a point, really, right? I mean, yeah, dumb, very stupid, Xbox. You always were, but this is just a whole nother level. So that's it for Xbox. So let's get to my favorite. Well, not really my favorite. My favorite's Nintendo, but my favorite this year, Sony. Yes. So okay, so I want to tell you guys about a little story. So yesterday I went on a rampage. I was so angry. Thursday and Friday. I went on a rampage. I was so angry because they were rumored to reveal the price on September 9th, and they didn't. So I commented on every single video that Sony posted saying, where's the PS5 price? Where's the PS5 price? Where's the PS5 price? Over and over again. Today, they announced on September 16th, they're gonna have a PS5 event. There's no way they don't reveal the price, and if they don't, they're gonna have to like delay it to 2021. Like, the year's almost over. Like, what? But they're gonna reveal new games too, which is insane. I mean, you already had Astro, Horizon, Ratchet, Spider-Man, Kena, Sackboy, Bug Snacks, like, so Godfall, Destruction All-Stars, Returnal. I mean, just mind-blowing amounts of exclusive games. Oddworld. But guess what? They're gonna reveal new stuff too. What? Sony, why? Like, why are you this good? So, yeah, we're getting new games. We're probably getting the price. And that's just fantastic. That's just fantastic. That's all I have to say. So, Hayden, if you want to go and share some of your thoughts on Xbox and PlayStation, you can go ahead, because that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think Sony, like, Xbox should just kind of, like, Xbox, like, doesn't, like to wait. Like, they tried, like, this year, but, like, Sony's so much better at waiting than,
Oh, yeah.
Xbox. And they just wait until Xbox reveals everything, and then they just, reveal everything as well. Because
Yeah.
you're going to reveal your prices soon. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going, we'll just wait until it's almost time for release, and
I
then you'll
mean,
have to do it.
yeah, I mean, Sony has a history of destroying the competition with their prices. Like, E3 used to be this boring, sort of boring thing, and then Sony comes along, and it's boring conference until Sony comes up and they say, "Oh, he's gonna tell us about the price of the console." And he just walks up and he goes $299, and the Saturn's $400, and it barely has any good games at the time. At least I like Clockwork Knight and Panzer Dragoon. Okay, I like the Saturn. I like the Saturn. So don't yell at me in the comments, okay, guys.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation, they absolutely annihilated them with that. And then PS4, they say, oh, it's $500, and then PS4 comes out and goes, the PlayStation 4 will retail at $399, and the crowd like screams. I'm getting ready for another one, and I'm excited. Yeah, so definitely. Sony's doing a great job, a fantastic job this year. With the PS4, Dreams, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo, Marvel's Iron Man, tons of good stuff for the PS4, and the PS5 just looks to be amazing. And, oh my god, guys, you know what I just realized? When the PS5
What?
comes out, I'm going to be able to play Horizon, Last of Us 2, and Ghost of Tsushima with
Well, you
no.
could also play Last of Us 1 as well.
Yeah, but I mean, after replaying that game, it's very doesn't hold up as well. Let me just say, I mean, I like it, but like difficulty spikes, like everywhere. I mean, I could, but I'd rather just play the second one for a third time. Um, it is truly the office of my video game collection, where I refuse to stop just replaying or rewatching it. But yeah, I can play all those. No load times. What? Amazing, amazing. So yeah, Sony's doing a
Oh,
great job. Xbox is doing a terrible job. Nintendo's doing an job. That's
you
how I rate
can
it.
you can also play like Spider-Man and then the
Oh yeah,
sequel to Spider-Man.
yeah,
And then I also was at Target like last night, and I saw that Spider-Man was still on sale. It was pretty surprising because it's 3 years old, and you'd expect a game to not be on sale. And it wasn't even in the PlayStation Hit section. It was just in the normal section of where they sell games.
yeah.
That's
That's
pretty
it's good.
interesting.
So yeah, that's what I think. And then I have one more story, and it's not really gaming. Well, I have two actually. One's gaming, one's not. So I playing Uncharted 2 right now, guys. It's fantastic. I've almost beaten it. So yeah, fantastic game. But Then we have Android. Yes. If you are an Apple fan, click off the video right now. I don't want you here. No, I'm just kidding. But Android 11 released, and it's fantastic. Oh, yes. It, like, new fonts, new features, new notifications, settings, new gestures, tons of new stuff, new media controls, like, perfect. What else do you want me to say? It's perfect. But you can also record your screen, which is just fantastic. So I might end up doing that. I'm doing Uncharted 1 and I've done Uncharted 2. I've done Uncharted 1 and I'm doing Uncharted 2, God. And I plan to play through all of the Uncharted games that I have access to. I mean, I can't play Golden Abyss because it's on the Vita. I mean, unlike Kid Koopa. But, so I might end up, there's a mobile Uncharted game, so who knows. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. This is super long, but we just wanted to ramble and get everything out of our systems. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be safe, and goodbye.